Hello, everybody. Let's head right on into Collectively Rewilding. All right. We were talking a little bit before we get started, but I hope those of you who are just joining in now are also having a good day. Mostly we talked about being busy. Oh my goodness, right? So let's just jump right in. Does anybody have anything to share? I know you have your name here as Ken, so I'll use Ken. Uh, Ken has shared some fun things today for what he's got going on. And they're right there. That is a nice little area already with, is this some sort of evergreen bush here?
I have no
Behind,
idea. It came with the house.
right? Mhm. It looks like it might be one of those that stays green throughout the year. It looks like maybe a waxy leaf plant.
uh, I think it has like little red berries, so I don't know.
Mhm.
I haven't really checked it out.
And so, of course, this is the more important part of the picture, right? But definitely doing really good, it looks like.
Hmm.
And so, are you happy with it, except for up at the top where you haven't quite got it anchored?
Yeah, basically, because sometimes it'll shift over, and even though it'll still be up, it's just like, well, it's supposed to be like it's set up.
Let's see if I can find the picture specifically that you have. Yeah, there we go. I wonder, oh gosh, that's the same kind of structure that is on our porch in the front.
Hmm.
And what mostly I've seen here and around is that they've tried to put the adhesive style on because I don't think that you're supposed to put any, it's not like something you could put a nail or a screw into, really,
Hmm.
right? Without doing damage. And then beyond that, it's going to be a roofing structure of some sort up above the gutter, right?
Uh-huh.
So you wouldn't really want to put it up in that. So I'm almost tying it off to your beam right there. It would
Mm.
narrow it some, definitely, but then it wouldn't do any damage to anything, I would hope, right? I don't know. That's a tricky one. Because if it has much weight and you attach it to your grain gutter, it could do damage, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be much weight, even with like cucumbers growing, because a lot of baby cucumbers are already started to proliferate.
That's
Not just waiting
wonderful.
on it to catch to the new trellis situation.
Well, I wish you luck with whatever you design out of that. I wish we have the same kinds of things. Last night we were trying to put lights that we have on my geraniums that I brought in, and it was frustrating. We couldn't get it to clip onto anything that would really get it to where it's supposed to be because they're supposed to be like right above it, right? Like within a foot above it.
Hmm.
And so that was much higher. And then when we went ahead and just put it higher than I really wanted, it keeps shutting off. And so the next thing I want to try is it's gosh, USB, is that right? Where you have to plug it into a power block, right? The end that's a USB style
Hmm.
end, right? I think. Okay. So it has to have a block like that. So I'm going to try a new block because it looks like a pretty weak sauce block, to be real about it. And I'm thinking maybe that's the problem and it can't handle such a large device as that light being on for 12 hours, right? Oh, and then you had
Hmm.
another picture that you had shared with everyone, Candace. And so Cami definitely is knowing what's going on here. Nothing. You're just gonna look at it and be like, "Yep, that's my work. Good job," right? So
Oh,
this,
me?
yeah, you. Uh huh.
It was I had some. I think it's called peat moss. That I had some rocks with some. I call it rock grass. So I got some of that, and then some of the soil or some of the dirt. That's all the topsoil and the rain out of. So it's like sand, and then I
Mm-hmm.
just mix it together,
Mm-hmm.
and that's worked so far. That's what it
Yeah,
was before.
they should be pretty forgiving, right? You don't want to overwater them or underwater them, of course, but they don't need as much water, at least as a lot of plants. From my experience, Tammy waters hers every day, but she's in a really hot location, right? So, you know, different places with different needs, but they do like that desert kind of soil. So that should be really good and they should do great.
No, it's like they don't like the frequency of water, but when they do get watered, they want to be completely watered.
I think that's with, you know, almost all plants, right? Whether it's frequent or not, they want to get thoroughly watered, right?
Hmm.
Very cool. Well, very productive week then for you.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
and
How
then
are
it
your
had like two two mature pups. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of that.
yeah, he's got pictures in the comments as well. When you create, okay, so I set it up so that you guys can create articles in certain areas. So in Show Your Wild, if you're ever wanting to, and you click this box here, you can click this one right here, expand to article. And one of the things that that allows you to do is put in multiple pictures.
Oh, what?
Yep, isn't that great? And you can put a title on it. You can add text in here. You can do all kinds of things. You can embed things in here, right? So like, you know how in LH2, the application forms are now like in the post. You guys notice that?
Mm-mm.
Let me show you what
I'm
I'm
not
talking
figuring out.
about here. Okay. We jumped in really quickly into the grant application area, right? The giveaway grants and winners. And then we are on, yep, November the 4th already. So instead of clicking on something and going to the external area, you just start filling it out right here. This is
Whoa.
embedded into the community. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys can do all kinds of crazy fun things. Quite a few things can get embedded in. I haven't played with it a lot yet, but it's really quite neat. So, and you can do bullet points or lists or a horizontal line to like break things up if you want to. You can do all kinds of fun things. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Cancel. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So you guys can always play with that. All right. So for these, you don't have to put it in the comments. What you could do is you put it in and maybe you make something funny about having spent so much money, my expensive setup or something as your title. And then you can caption each of the photos just as you have and keep adding them in. You can decide how big they are. You can make them smaller or larger, the pictures. So kind of fun. And you can even, I think, let me go into my alt account where I'm a member. And I'll jump in there, but I do believe you guys have the option of putting a header photo as well in your article. See how I'm a member here, right? A member. I don't have host privileges or moderator privileges. And so I click the article button. And then yes, so you can also add, what is this down here? That's really weird. Highlight text to adjust the formatting. Oh yeah, it's just walking you through a little tutorial. It knows I've never tried to create an article, so it'll actually walk you through a little tutorial. That's really nice, really helpful. And then you will be able to, it's just going through that over and over again. X out of that. Then you'll be able to add a header image or video as well. So the difference there is when you look at country living and business. All right. So sometimes you see this card kind of a look for them. That is a header image or video, and it can be anything. It could be whatever you want it to be. That's what these all are. And then when it's this, I didn't put a header image. I just let it be the video image, right? Because I'm playing with it to see what I like better and seeing if you guys comment or whatever. But as I was thinking about today for both communities, I just don't know how valuable it is to hold all of this material. Julia May has always talked about that, right? Holding these replays and just really being real about it, guys. How often do you watch a replay in either community if you didn't get to attend that class? And please just speak up.
Well, I'll try to catch the replay, like if I miss it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're so far out in LH2?
Oh, and LH2. I'm selective, like on certain classes that I know I wanna be in, but I just can't get into.
So here in Collectively Rewilding, you will try to watch the replay, and then over there are certain classes that you will also try to watch the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's really good feedback, right? What is your face for, Mr. Benny? Your mind is blown. He's got a GI up in there. Funny. It has been a while for you. I used to before more often. All right, so maybe they have more value than I was thinking they do. And that's really good to know because sometimes we make decisions in a bubble, right? Because we don't always get feedback, even if we ask for it. And so it's really hard sometimes to make the most appropriate decision for what the community wants. That's why it's nice to have this core group, right? And so we do communicate better as a group, and it doesn't really matter which community we're in. And that's really, really a tremendous value of your feedback, guys. Always be aware of that. All right. And so we heard about Candace's gardening. Anyone else? Anything fun? Doesn't have to be in the garden. Anything fun outside? Starting a potted plant for inside? Any of that good stuff?
I don't have a green thumb, but I did get all of the weeds out of my flower bed.
You took the weeds out of your flower bed?
I did, and I cut down um, roughly three sticky bushes, and that's about it.
Hey, really getting out there in that soil, it will have interacted with your biochemistry. The biome that's in the soil acts with your individual biome, and it's a good thing no matter what you're out there doing, right? And so you say you don't have a green thumb. That it's funny. That's one of the big things that this gardenary certification walks you through. And I should have brought the book down. I did get the book that goes along with it. And I really like her ideology, Candace, because it starts off instead of like when we were talking to Wendy, right? About her porch garden. And it's this, even for a porch garden, it was pretty ambitious. Okay. A couple of bigger potted plants that would need at least probably, oh, I don't know. I think the 5 gallon buckets are just not big enough. So you might even need 10 gallons really for a tomato or a pepper. And all of this, it's a big, big prospect. And so what Gardenary teaches is that you start with the leaves, roots, fruits, and it's a progression. I wish that her title conveyed better what she's trying to tell you. It's very clear once you understand and you hear her explain it, but leaves, roots, fruits, leaves, roots, and fruits, it just seems like, okay, she's talking about stuff in the garden, right? Really, it's this step-by-step method that she's built. And the first level, you might only start off with microgreens, even in leaves. And that's really positive because you can harvest from that in about 2 weeks, right? So you can go from seed to harvest in a 2 week period. And that's really encouraging. And it also really starts to get you interacting with the idea of maintaining something that is living and growing, right? And it might be something a little bit more than microgreens, maybe some spinach or some, I don't know specifically what she's recommending as those first ones. I would think that any of the lettuces would be good leafy greens, perhaps cabbages or Brussels sprouts. And it's a progression. So if you really feel like you don't have a solid handle on doing something like this, start off with those microgreens, right? It's a really good option. And then you build up. Spinach would be probably one of the next easiest to grow. Then perhaps try a leaf lettuce, then a cabbage, then maybe Brussels sprouts, right? And especially where you guys are in warmer climates, different, right? Florida and Tennessee, but still warmer than what I experience here in Utah, or Anita's got in Colorado, or Benny has in Massachusetts, and then Ken does warm, and Tammy warm, right? But this is still a time when you could get some return on something like spinach. If you find a sheltered spot, even in the colder areas, and you set it up right going in, you could get some harvests off of that. You can also do these things inside, right? And that's another thing with microgreens. It's something that you can approach in your house without having to go and take that next step. It's all incremental steps. And I think that that's a really good plan. And then once you have a full handle on all of those leaf plants, you go to the roots and you start with the smaller ones like radishes and carrots. And then once you're good there, you're going to move on to something like maybe parsnips and beets. And then you go into something like sweet potatoes, yams, and potatoes. And then those are your roots, right? Onions also in that area, all of the alum plants, that's your onion family. So you have garlic, leeks, onions, the different colors of onions. You have scallions, you have pearl onions, you have walking onions. There's so many different kinds of onions. All of that is your roots. And then you go to your fruits. And by that, she means to go with your peppers, your tomatoes, your eggplants, your what would be another good that's not a nightshade for the area that she's talking about there. So like then you get into your bigger ones, really your zucchinis, your squashes, and then your watermelons and your pumpkins. And each one is a stage. And then some people can handle all of that lettuce in one season. They can go through those leaves and really kind of experience that whole thing. And some people really should start with microgreens, right? We're all unique in everything, and absolutely our gardening is as well. But what do you guys think of that approach? Does that sound? And then she said she should have added another category, and that would be your berries and trees. And I think that that would have been really brilliant for her step-by-step method. And still, I'm going to say a different title, a different title, a different title, right? What do you guys think of that step-by-step approach? Does that help anybody who's feeling a little bit more hesitant?
Yeah, that sounds actually like systematic.
Mm-hmm. It is a system, what she's got here. I'm really more and more impressed by it. Every layer that she rolls out, I'm just very impressed by her thought process and the meticulous ways that she put this all together. Her materials are great. Her presentation in her videos is phenomenal. She's got the business stuff built into it. She's teaching you garden coaching, but she has all of the financial elements that you need to be successful as a garden coach within that. I mean, that's just of such amazing value, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No one else? No thoughts? Everybody's been so quiet today.
Hi, Sabrina. How you
Hey,
doing?
Wendy.
Hi, how
What's
you
got
doing?
going on, lady? What do you think of that process?
It sounds good. She's doing it step by step, right?
Mm-hmm. Does that sound like more approachable than trying to do your porch garden?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a step by step. I actually met someone that she's willing to help me um when I'm ready to start. So I'm proud of that.
That's wonderful, Wendy.
Yeah, but I wanted to help her, but I didn't know how to uh approach or invite someone into joining the community because she wants to do a business where um, she can start it for you and then bring it to you. Like even if
Well,
it's
she's
in
welcome to join us here for free, and I would be happy to uh,
yeah, yes.
communicate with her a little bit more. Like, I don't want to take too much of our classes for it, right? I can talk about it a little bit, and especially those things that'll benefit you guys, like that step-by-step thought process. But I don't want it to just overwhelm our classes. But I could definitely just walk her through it, introduce her to it. This course is it's pretty
Yeah,
pricey.
how do I do that? Does she join the Lesko too and then
Well, she could, but that would cost, right? So if she wants help with her business, really fully help with her business, it would be something I would recommend, of course, for her to join Let's Go Help too as well. Here she can join for free, and I can talk her through a lot of it. We can just that could be like her community outreach project, and we could talk to her about how she could do that and the pieces that I'm getting here that I'm not going to just share it, right? Like Tammy, she said I should just watch the videos with you guys without recording it. But I don't think that's fair. Like she put so much work into this whole endeavor, and I'm so impressed by it. And while $3,000 is quite a bit of money for any of us, it's not an inappropriate price. This is brilliant. And there's live interactive coaching sessions just like what we do here. I've never seen it. You guys always hear me. I never have seen it anywhere else. She has it within there, but it is that cost. So that's probably some of the difference, right? We're talking about free mediums when we're talking about that kind of a thing. And that's what collectively Rewilding is. So this is probably one of the few free platforms where it's continuously a live interactive things like this. But that's what goes into
before it's over, you can give me the link or how to.
So all she has to do is type in collectively Rewilding, and she'll find our community and she can join for free. The prompts are all right there.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yep.
Easy. Easy
Yes,
peasy.
it is.
Thank you very much. Okay, I
Of
definitely. Thank you.
For all of you guys, please, the platform is public and free for anyone, right? That's why we're going nonprofit. I really believe that anybody that wants to feel comfortable doing something brand new or getting out into nature for the first kind of time, or somebody that wants to share something that they're very experienced at, like that whole breadth. I just believe so much that we should be able to interact at that level. And I really want it to be comparable to the Facebook for the outdoors, right? So that anybody that likes the outdoors or even the thought of going outdoors heads over here to work with all these different types of thought processes from different content creators, right? You get to hear from Tammy and Roger, as well as myself. And then I want that to grow and grow, much like we do in Let's Go Help too, but a little bit more specific, right? Like a skill set. Tammy is going to be doing something more than just her member meetups. That's kind of just like a get together. And then she's so serious about it that she's always showing you guys different things. But when the content creators are coming in, they can create courses, all these different things. There's so many skill sets that are a part of the outdoors that no one person could know everything. I believe that candle making is an appropriate kind of topic for in here, candle making and soap making. And I actually had a friend that was supposed to do that in this community, and it didn't end up working out. So I kept going with this. I had a group of friends, and they're still my friends. We still talk, and they're still doing all their wonderful things out there. They wanted a community that they could come in and do all these things and learn all these things. And so I built this platform, and then they all disappeared. But I thought it was a brilliant idea that they had asked to have built for them, and I wanted to continue it. It was never supposed to be just about me. And so I'm constantly looking to find content creators that will be that group that was originally going to happen here, right? It doesn't have to be that same group, though it would have been wonderful for some of them to have made it through. They're still doing what they're doing. It's kind of silly that they're not out there creating content because they're all live streamers, but they can't let go of the political live streaming, right? And so while they talk the solution, they don't really put the solution out there in their content. And it's unfortunate because they're all doing some really neat things, but there are so many people doing neat things out there that have these amazing skill sets.
There's another lady that has a beautiful garden. I heard it's someone that I ride with going to dialysis, and the driver told me, he's like, yeah, I took a couple things from her garden. Beautiful garden. She just gave me a soursop leaves and a cerci leaves. You know, I guess to drink as a tea, like a blood purifier. And then she gave me aloe, whatever. And the aloe, I'm afraid because it has some little stick thingies. I have to wear gloves when I peel it and take the I guess the flesh or meaty part of the aloe
Mhm.
and blend it with water and just use it, like in my hair or my skin or so. But yeah,
There's
she
so
gave me
many different
those.
things you can do with aloe.
Yeah, exactly. She has a beautiful garden, I heard, and she said people just come. Her family, they just come and just take stuff and then leave or whatever. She said the only thing she doesn't have is okra, but she has like everything you could imagine. She has
That's
from
wonderful.
coconut to
Oh, goodness. That is.
bananas. I mean, I was like, wow, what kind of yard do you have? Like strawberries. She said she grew strawberries in a pot.
Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful. I'll see if she can join too.
That would be wonderful. Yes,
Yeah.
anyone really is welcome.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you.
How's your cucumbers, sir? I'm sorry, I don't know his name.
Ken or Ken Des, we were talking about those earlier. He shared some pictures in here for
Oh,
'em.
he did? Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to check those out. And we were walking through how to create an article and everything that you guys can actually share multiple pictures in one post without having to put it in the comments. I've set it up so that you guys are able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Tammy pointed it out, right? She was sharing her aloe, and then she'd have to put all these comments in, and that's frustrating. I've had to do that in different areas of my life as well, and so put it out there so that you guys can
I
put all
think I think it naturally grown in her area, right? She said. I think it was. I don't think she said it. Did she, or was it naturally grown?
your. No, she just grows a lot of it, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it grows. It's like a lot.
She has some that have been growing for years. Tammy, please go ahead.
Oh, I've had them for like a long time. Had them like for like 7 years. So like over years, period of years, they just you know uh grow pups. That's what they're called. Little baby aloes underneath like the big ones. So yeah,
Oh,
so they
and
just
the big ones, if you don't use them, do they dry out or do they stay?
they will just like depending like I put them in like kind of like mostly sand because that's what they like. So if I put them in the sun, that's when they start burning. So like the
Oh,
ones
really?
so it sucks. So they need like a lot of shade, but still they need a lot of water. It's just like direct sun just like literally burns them. So the ones that I planted like right in front of the window,
Amazing.
I'm probably gonna take them out because they're just turning brown. I know the winter's coming, but still, they're just like I gotta put them in like what do you call them? Those pots, the clay pots. I think
Yeah.
I need to put it. Yeah, I think I need to put them in those type of things because like
So keep in mind, Wendy, that she's in a completely different type of environment. Or was it Wendy or
yeah.
it was Wendy?
Yeah, Wendy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And they California, where Tammy is very dry and very hot and very
Mm, okay.
very the sun bakes the earth there. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So that's why it she has to water it so much. So it's not that and it might even get too cold. Tammy, does it get too cold in the winter nights for the aloe vera to be outside, or can you still leave it out on your
No, they
yeah,
love it. They
yeah.
love it
Mhm.
because
But they wouldn't get enough moisture if they were out in the soil
yeah,
Mm,
without you
yeah.
watering them, right?
Yeah, it's just like every
Mhm.
day I have to go out there and water when it's like hot
awesome.
like this, but when like it comes fall, winter, I don't really have to water them that much, probably like once a week,
Mhm.
not that much, but normally as of like right now in summertime, I have to literally go out there a lot and spray them, you
Well, I
know.
mean, it's well into the fall now, right? We're in October, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's still how hot are you today,
It's
right?
still hot. It's still
Yeah.
hot right now. Daryl's sweating right now. I'm like, man, why are you sweating? I'm like, it's freezing for me, because it's been there's a storm coming, so it just rained today. So I was out there, pulling some weeds, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, it's starting to get cold out here. So I took my toots and took my toots back inside. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get sick.
Mm.
So yeah, that's pretty much what my day
How
consists
how
of.
do you might be a silly question, but how do you water plants? You water them like how we water grass over it, or you go underneath in the
So
pot?
there's a lot of specific advice out there that says you should try not to get the leaves wet and everything, but that's just not practical unless you can do some sort of like drip system or soaker hoses or things, right? And if you think about the rain, it gets the leaves wet. So you do want to make sure that they're dry by a certain point, especially where, well, I would think that you're probably in a place that doesn't get too super humid, right?
No, not
Right.
yeah.
hmm Okay, so you don't have to worry about that kind of a thing as much, but you just
But if I'm indoors, then I
mhm.
have to consider.
Yes, indoors, especially if you use the central heat and air, it
Yeah,
really
yeah,
dries
central
things
AC, yeah.
out, right?
Yes.
hmm And I'm sorry, what was your initial question again? I got
Oh,
lost.
do you water
Okay.
water over it like your shower, or do you water like underneath inside of the pot?
If you just have a couple of pots, you can kind of water if you can feel where you're putting, get just a little watering can, right? So that you can hold it and feel where your nozzle is underneath the leaves, right? Where you have the partial vision, right? So that you can feel what you're doing as much as see it. Would that be something that would sound appropriate?
Repeat the last question. A call was coming in. Sorry.
Oh, yes, understandable. So, with the problem that you have with partial vision, right?
Yes.
So
No. Watering would be no issue, but seeing if it needs water or not, maybe that would be an issue. I would have to feel.
no, nope, you can touch your soil.
Okay.
You want to feel if the first inch or so is dry on the topsoil,
Yeah.
then it needs watering for most plants, unless it's like a cactus or something like that, right? Most plants are
Okay.
going to want to be a little bit moist. There's such a broad range, but yeah, that's a pretty common rule for most plants. If the top inch of your soil is dry, it probably needs watered.
Okay. So never get it to the part where like the leaves are drying up or
Right, right. And so
brittle.
you can feel that in the soil. You don't want to wait to be able to feel it in the plant.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, but what I was talking about with the watering is where you're only going to maybe be doing a couple of small pots at the beginning. You can keep it from really getting on the leaves if you just, like I said, you want to feel where the leaves are and keep your nozzle just kind of below those and feel. So, do you have the plants already to know what kind of plants they are, or are you just kind of talking about in general?
Talking about in general.
Okay.
And,
So,
what are you saying pods like PODS or POTS?
yes, yes, with the T.
Okay, because I was researching on YouTube and I keep on hearing there's this system of like for indoors it's called pods or something.
It gets pretty technical,
Okay,
so and pretty expensive.
got it. Okay,
So,
I keep it simple. Hmm.
right, to begin with, right? Like think of those leaves, roots, fruits, and then kind of the same thing when I say with the grant hunting world, don't worry about all those specific questions. More go and find something that, since you think that that would be helpful to you, something smaller like microgreens or some spinach or some Swiss chard or kale, something like that. And you can grow that in a pot in a window that gets, see, that's the thing, that system that she has, they don't need as much sunlight. The more you go into the system, the more sunlight it needs. When you get up to those squash and the watermelon and the
Yeah,
corn, you're talking like 8 to 10 hours of sunlight that they're going to need at least.
I'm trying to look into Walmart to see if they have any like pre-potted like in the pot already, and then I just take it from
It's
there.
getting a little bit late in the season, and anything they have is likely to not be very nice unless it's just with a different area that maybe they have a little bit more. But that's
Okay.
the typical time of the season, right?
Mm.
It's getting a little bit late. Now, on the other hand, if you want to look in grocery stores,
Yeah, they usually have like basil or
exactly. Now,
yeah.
and even Walmart's grocery store area will have it.
Yeah.
And herbs are absolutely a part of those leaves for a large portion, right? So
Yeah.
rosemary, basil, absolutely qualify for that leaf area that are a little bit easier to take care of don't need as much sunlight, don't need as much maintenance, and that you can harvest from much more quickly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool.
So yeah,
That sounds safer.
it's absolutely a great place. And so you can see things well enough to be able to identify your plants without needing to take extra steps, or would it be good to start thinking about taking extra steps right from the get-go so that you could easily identify which plant was which?
No, I can identify my plants.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
By the smell.
Okay, I
Mm.
still would recommend doing something that you can tell by touch, like on the pot,
Okay, no problem.
right? Or getting different colored pots, whatever visual level, if that's
Oh,
something you want, or if you want to
yeah,
do it
that's
by touch,
true.
right?
I
How,
didn't think about that. Okay, great. Thank you. Great advice. Thank you.
no problem, my dear. My
Yeah,
grandmother
wonderful.
had
Different color
macular
pots. That'd be
dystrophy.
awesome. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great, great. Okay, so you can see the colors and maybe some of the blobbiness of the
Yes,
face.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So your vision is probably about comparable to what I see when I don't have my glasses on, right? Like I can see that there's a
It's like
thing here, there's some
I have
words.
peripheral, but not the
Oh,
tunnel. The tunnel is blocked.
okay. So you do have the peripheral, don't have the front, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
the tunnel. Because of past surgeries. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm still able to see colors and stuff. Yeah. And objects
Well,
and stuff. Only
hopefully,
thing I can't tell
there's so
between.
many different things out there for different
Yeah.
treatments. Hopefully something will come along and you
Oh
will be
yeah.
able to choose.
Definitely. Not giving up on that. Yeah. But when it comes to bell peppers, can't tell between the red and the green.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For some
And so
reason, red and
again,
green can be difficult.
that's where you could use a different colored pot, or you could put a texture on it, right? Like
Yes,
wrap
exactly.
it with
I actually have
tape.
some little bumps, sticky bumps I use for my microwave, so I
Okay.
can actually put that on my pot
Mm-hmm.
to know which is which. Yeah,
There you
I
go.
can always do
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're ever struggling with something like that, come in, we'll brainstorm it and find some way that will work to help you handle what you're dealing with.
And then I have Be My Eyes. Be My Eyes I can always call and they
Oh,
can tell me which plant it is.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
always good to have a network of people that are,
Yeah.
wonderful. All right, guys. Well, did anybody else want to share anything about what they had going on, outdoor garden, uh, things they want to try, questions they want to ask about, something they want to try, anything at all before we shut down for the night?
I have a question. Do you sing to any of your plants or
I don't, but
anything?
Tammy, I think, does. Don't you, Tammy? You talk to them a lot, right?
Oh yeah, I sing to them, I dance with them. Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah. I
They
used to grow
feel that.
marijuana plants, so I used to sing to my marijuana plants and just jam out, you know.
See,
mm,
I told my auntie she was nuts. She goes around buying all dead plants and then she goes out there and she dances, she sings, and then next thing you know, she has a beautiful garden all over again. I've been like, these the same plants?
That's wonderful. They feel that. They've proven that sending out positive energy or negative energy really does affect the things around us, whether it's the plants, the water, people, everything. When you project a positive energy, it sends out things that will affect other systems that will raise their energy. It's quite amazing, and it's scientifically documented, right? Very cool.
Hmm.
Miss Tammy, do y'all have elephant ears? Cause
Say it
down
again.
here the elephant ears.
I've heard of them, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Is that like cauliflower?
No, it's a um big leafy plant, and I have one, but mine's is short. But my neighbor, she has
Oh,
some that
wow.
grows just as tall as her house, and she has some purple ones this year, and I'm like, where did you get them from?
what are they called?
Elephant ears.
Oh.
These
They
are obviously AI on a couple of them, but wow.
Well,
I
she
would
has some
hesitate
purple
when it's
ones.
so visibly like AI looking, but that says Walmart. So,
Yeah, she has some purple ones, but
mhm.
hers grow almost tall as the house.
Are they edible?
Um,
No, they poison.
Oh.
They didn't look very edible.
Mm.
To care for elephant ears, provide them with bright, indirect light, a rich, well-draining soil, and keep the soil consistently moist but not soggy. Is your care instructions, right? They like the high humidity. By misting or using a pebble tray, ensure warm temperatures, 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit is their preferred. Fertilize every 4 to 6 weeks. So about every month to a month and a half, they want to be fertilized.
oh, well, that's why mine's dying.
Well, and you could dance with it while you fertilize it and then double duty, right?
And if you want somebody to leave you alone,
Oh yeah. If you dance, if you want people to leave you alone, is that your advice, Ken? I guess we know what kind of a dancer you consider yourself, right? I don't know. If that's the case, I scare people away all the time because I dance around all the time.
no, I'm talking about as far as having elephant leaves.
Oh,
You know how
okay.
to cultivate them.
They are pretty hardcore in their look there, right? Okay, see, these look a little bit more like real plants. I do think that there might be some pretty crazy things, though, even from what you're saying about your friends. They're purple and as big as her house. So,
See, there they
uh,
go. The pinkish purple. They
this one
right
here.
there. Yep,
Mhm.
that's exactly what they look like. And I was like, man, that's some ET stuff. I don't want that.
I love neat looking plants. I do like them. Like when Ken was asking, can it be eat or no? Ken said it was poisonous. Someone asked if it could be eaten. I apologize. I can't remember. Those are my preference, like that they're a medicine, or they can be eaten, or they can be made into something.
You gotta see. Yes, I'm curious about what they are.
You can
Yeah,
make
Is
them
it
in the wood.
beautiful?
they just pretty. I don't
They're
know.
pretty,
That
or
Yeah,
okay.
that's all I can tell you. I don't know. That was my granny was the one that did all that. But when she passed away, I um planted one next to um her stone that I gave my mom, and I tell her, I said, "Okay, Granny, you got to keep this thing up. I know you in the ground, but you better keep this up because I can't do this." And that's as much talking as I do to that plant, but it's too hot in Tennessee, so mine's it dies all the time.
Well, you want it. Okay, so let's go back to the answer here, right? Bright indirect light. So it likes it warm, 65 to 85 degrees, and then you can mist it to help keep it cooler, that keeping that humidity, right? But that is, kind of an intensive plant for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they were something that grew wild everywhere and they got these huge, huge leaves like that, where you're saying they're as tall as her house and things, parts like that could have been used in roofing structures and things where it grows wild, right?
Okay.
So they would have had use if they weren't decorative, where they grow naturally. Back when people were making things that they could take down quickly or just leave and then go build another one relatively quickly and easily, right? No, partially nomadic, where they would stay for a period of time at something, but then abandon the structure and let it get taken back by the natural environment and continue on and have like a cycle of traveling that they would do. Things like these leaves would absolutely have been used in the roofing structures.
Something that you consider about houseplants, anyhow, they do purify the indoor air, even if they don't have any other medicinal purposes to them.
Just any plant, yes, absolutely. There are some that are better for that though, like the snake plant.
The snake plant. Yep, I got
hmm
that.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, let's go and check out what we have going on next. Of course, we'll have action plan for your nonprofit in LH2 tomorrow, and our next class here in Collectively Rewilding will be Miss Tammy T. And oh, I have to delete this one. Let me just delete this one really quickly. We've got our new one in here, and so please do RSVP to her new class time, right? She needed to change the day. And so please go ahead and jump on there and RSVP, but hers will be first on Sunday, and that's October 12th at 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 2 o'clock p.m. Central, and 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And I will be with you that same day, that evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Central, and 10:30 Eastern for Yarn Yard for Tall Tales. Hope to see you guys all there, and I hope you have excellent weekends wherever you are. Please feel free to unmute and say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
I'll
Alright.
mention you guys on the podcast tomorrow.
Oh, we would love
I'll
that,
mention
Wendy.
collectively.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And Benny says he wants to look up good plants to grow in Massachusetts. You'd have to tell me some more about it, Benny, and have it ready right at the beginning. And I will try to remember to look in the chat and see what you're looking at, and we'll talk about that next, okay? All right, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye
See
bye.
you.
See you later.